Hey guys,
Hello.
today is the 8th day of our Halloween movie challenge, and today we went with The Conjuring 2. This was a really good movie. This is the third one that we've seen out of the five, and I know with a lot of sequels they tend to go downhill, but I didn't really get that from this one.
No,
I thought they did phenomenal again. Really good job. What did you think?
I liked it a lot. Probably even better than the other one. This one, in my opinion, was much scarier than the other one. Only because you know how I am with like the popping
Creepy
out and the
faces and
creepy
stuff.
faces.
Yeah.
I could do. So what's funny about me is that I would rather do a movie that's more realistic than paranormal. It just creeps me out a little bit. But it was done really really well. I liked it a lot.
Well, let's first kind of talk about the story a little bit. The story is that now this is obviously the second Conjuring movie,
Yeah.
so Lorraine and Ed are now more popular, and we even see like in the beginning of the movie they're on like that talk show,
Yeah.
and they're kind of being like there's somebody on there that's kind of like disputing them, pretty much calling them like a hoax and saying it's all fake and stuff. And actually, at the very beginning, it showed them at the a medieval horror house, and so they're already more popularized now, even more than before. Well established and stuff, so that was kind of cool to see that progression from the first movie to the second one. But what happens is they now have to help a family in England who is having a problem with a demon. Well, technically, the way the story makes it seems like there's three of them. It seems like there's three spirits or demons in that house, and but anyway, they're sent there by the church to just kind of make sure it's not a hoax, kind of check the place out, and then obviously as the story unfolds, we know it's not a hoax and there actually is something there. But I liked how they one of the things I liked was that they, like I said, they make it seem like there's three different entities in that house that are evil, and I guess technically it's just one demon, which is the nun
Yeah.
character, which she is creepy.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So do you know what I mean when I say like the
yeah,
realistic versus paranormal? I'm not saying that paranormal is not real,
yeah.
but something more like,
Like just the painting that he made of the nun character on
yeah,
the
it's
wall
creepy.
was extremely creepy. Uh, like
That's the
she
thing
was
that creeped
awesome
me
though.
out the most was just like faces. Faces in horror movies when they do like the white eyes or even like the snake eye, it
Yeah.
creeps me out. The faces creep me out. And let me tell you, like you're saying, the nun was completely done to a T to like really scare the pants off of you.
Yeah, no, they did a great job with it. And the thing is, too, not to get sidetracked, but another thing that I like that they did really well was like in the first Conjuring movie, they show Annabelle.
Yeah.
Annabelle is not the main focus in that movie, though. She's just kind of like sprinkled in,
Yeah.
and then they came out with the Annabelle movie, and they did the same thing in this one. Whereas the Conjuring 2,
Yeah, it was
the
doses here and
nun,
there.
yeah, the nun, as we all know, now has her own movie. But I mean, granted, in this movie, she was the main villain, if you will, the main villain in this movie. Unlike Annabelle, where she was just kind of sprinkled in a little bit. This one, she was a bigger part. But they kind of did the same idea, where she's in the movie, but it was almost like to let you know she's gonna be in her own movie, you know. But to go back to the spirits thing, there was her, the nun. They had an old man, Bill.
Wilkins.
Wilkins, I think his name was Wilkins, who, you know, he was creepy too, but
To a
not
certain
as
extent,
much,
yeah.
because like whenever you would see his face, he always had like a very zombie kind of
Grim,
look to
yeah.
him, like yeah. So he was creepy, and the voice too was really
So
not like
what's
cool too.
what's weird about this, if you don't mind me saying, the nun, you were saying that she's the main villain. She was actually, which was a cool concept, using Bill as
Yeah.
a puppet.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, obviously.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be clicking on this.
Well,
But
just in case it's spoiler
true.
alert. So
But yeah, she was using him as like a puppet because she was a demonic entity,
yeah.
which is cool. I don't think we've ever come across a paranormal movie that did that at all.
I don't know. I mean, they've always had bad spirits and stuff in it. The thing that was different though was that she used Bill almost like to block the fact that
She could Lorraine.
Lorraine
Couldn't.
couldn't like get in touch with the demon
Yeah,
because
she
she
said she
couldn't
felt
sense
she didn't
her
sense anything but the family's fear,
because
which
of Bill, because the demon, the nun demon, was using Bill to
as a
block
cover.
her. Yeah, which is that's pretty smart. I mean, that's different. I haven't seen that. My only thing with the story with this movie though that was kind of like a negative to me was the crooked man character was too much of a computerized character for me.
I get that.
I liked the idea of him. I liked what they were doing with him, but every time he was on the screen, it he just seemed like a computer character, which
Yeah.
I know he was. He was CG animated. He was animated. I mean, yeah, CG. He was computer graphics. Like they put him in there. It wasn't an actual person, but it just I don't know. It seemed kind of out of place because you had the Bill Ghost spirit, which was a real actor. You had the nun character, which was a real actress. You had obviously all the people in there were all real people, and then you had this crooked man who was not. I mean, if he was, then I take it back. But it seemed like he seemed very computer animated
He
to
did.
me. He didn't
Especially when he
seem
came out of like the tent.
the tent when he was the dog and then he came up like he kind of like when he first shows up
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
forms to himself.
Yes, yeah.
I mean it was cool. I'm not saying it wasn't a cool thing, but it kind of took me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I can agree.
like I think they didn't even need him, to be honest with you. I think if they just went with Bill and the nun, that was plenty. I think it was good enough and a good enough story and creepy enough without the crooked man in there. But still cool. I'm not taking anything away from it. Now, so that takes care of the story and the villains, I guess. I liked how like once again the camera work. The director, I forgot the director's name now. It forgives me. But
Juan, right?
yeah, James Wan, I think it was Josh Wan. I forgot what it is
Yeah.
now. And of course,
James Wan, I think.
James Wan. Okay, but it's so cool. Like there's that he's in all three movies. He's always done some great stuff with the camera, and like in this one thing I liked was when it was almost like a continuous shot in the beginning where they're going like through the window to like see like the family, then
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
like into the other room. Like it's just cool little things like that, which I mean, when you're done watching the movie, you might not think twice about it, but when you're watching it, you appreciate it. Like it's different. He takes you on this like continuous shot, or at least it seems like a continuous shot of just something so basic, like just going from one room to another. And another thing that they continue to do is that setup where you think there's going to be a jump scare,
Yep.
but they make you wait. And sometimes there's no jump scare. And then other times there's one that comes later. Like one that kind of jumped out at me was when Lorraine's in her house and she sees the nun walk by. She's following the nun. They go into the study and they kept there was a picture of the nun that the husband painted, Ed, and he had it on the wall, and she's staring. Like at first it's dark, the camera's looking at her, you see the nun behind her. I thought it was the actual nun. I thought it was
I didn't know
the ghost.
It was the painting.
It was the painting though,
Yeah.
because then she's staring at it, and then she turns the light. Oh, it's just a painting. And I was like, well, she's gonna jump out of it. The lights go off again, and there's the painting again, and she's like, it's building that
The eyes
suspense.
did change though.
It did. But they were building that suspense where you think she's gonna jump out of the painting, and I mean, she ends up doing it, but not the way you thought, because then the lights come on, you see her shadow, which was really cool, walk around the room. I
Yep.
thought that was really cool. She goes to the painting, and then she I mean, legitimately takes the painting off the
Yeah.
wall and and kind of chases her with it, which that was a little different, but I don't know. It was a good story. I don't know if I liked it better than the first one though. To be honest with you, I really liked the first
I
Conjuring
think the
movie.
second one was, in my opinion, scarier, only be, because of the nun
Yeah, the
and her
nun made that
face.
story for me
That kind
personally.
of just. So here's a good question: what's your favorite part in the movie, and what's one part you would change, if there's any part you would
Well, like I
change?
said, it's not that I would change anything, but if I had to change something, I think the Crooked Man scenes were just not really
Needed,
needed.
yeah.
I just think that the story would have been great without his parts even in there. It's just not needed. Favorite part?
If you have one.
I don't know if I have one. I mean, I can't really think of one. Yeah, I can't really think of anything right now. Maybe, I mean, I really like, like I said, that part with the nun in the room with the painting. I thought that was really cool. So maybe that scene there, from what I can think of, from what I can remember. Why? What was your favorite scene? Do you have one that you could remember?
Not not too much a favorite. It was all very scary. Maybe one that was really, really well put as like a jump one was in the basement.
And when Bill's spirit was in the water.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
that,
was
that
a
was that
good
was a good one.
that was a
Yeah,
good like jump scare. I even dropped my phone.
yeah, because they made it seem like Bill was gonna get Ed, and then all of a sudden there he is to get the mom. I
The
forgot her name
mom,
now. I'm so bad with character names, just names in
Peggy.
general. Yeah, I think it was Peggy. One thing I do have to say though is at the very end of the movie when they show the actual recording, and you can
Oh
hear
yeah,
some of
it's
the
a little.
recording. That's creepy.
That was weird.
Like that was different.
It's funny. I was thinking to myself, I was like, why are they putting this on? Which is, it's cool. It is
Yeah,
part of because
it's.
it was one of the biggest paranormal investigations in England.
I don't think it was just England though. I think they meant in
No, that
general.
well, that one, oh yeah,
Yeah, like it was one of the biggest ones that was
ever recorded
recorded.
in
I
history.
I think so. Yeah.
So yes, it was actually really interesting, but at the same time, you're listening to it and it's like, oh, okay, this isn't actors talking into a mic. It's
Yeah.
actually recorded from years ago, and that was, yes, extremely
I think it was
creepy.
2003, right? That the recording came from was from 2003, I believe. But either way, it was
I
just,
don't know.
and all three stories too were based on true stories. So I'm assuming the last two probably are as well. I don't know, but I know that the first two, the two Conjuring movies actually say based on true stories.
Yep.
I believe Annabelle did too in the beginning. I can't remember now.
Amityville Horror is
Yeah, but that one's not really. That's not. They didn't film that
yeah.
with this 5 pack whatever it was. These movies. It's funny because these movies remind me of the Marvel, like like the Marvel universe where they made like individual movies and then had the characters together. This was the
Yep.
same thing but for horror. They did like Conjuring with like a little bit of Annabelle, and then Annabelle's own movie. Then Conjuring 2, and they had the Nun, which was the most recent one, and I know they did Annabelle 2 as well. But yeah, I mean, these are all the first three we watched. They were really good. They were very good. Like I liked the acting. I liked the story. I liked the how they set you up to believe that there's gonna be jump scares and then there's not, and just everything. I mean, I'm happy. I enjoyed this. I think this was a good day 8. I mean, we'll see what day 9 brings us. Maybe Annabelle 2. I think it's Annabelle Creation, I believe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
With all that said, he said that he would try to fall asleep last and let me fall asleep first.
yeah, I'm really tired though, so and I have to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's late. So we'll see what happens. But all right. I mean, that's it from me.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys tuning in and watching our videos.
Yep. Thank you guys.
And like we always say, please like and subscribe. And if you can, hit the bell notification so you don't ever miss a video.
Yep. And if you guys want to tell us maybe a certain horror movie to check out, let us know too.
Yeah, please put it in the comments below,
Yeah.
and we'll definitely squeeze it into our October.
Yeah, because we don't have any of these planned. These are all just kind of, we just kind of wing them as they go, and just find any kind of Halloween themed movie. So if you guys have anything, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks. Have a good night.